Long before Everest became crowded, before commercial expeditions, fixed ropes, and long summit lines, when the mountain was still wild, uncertain, and unforgiving, a woman from Japan quietly set out to make history. Her name was Junko Tabei. She didn't look like a typical mountaineer of that time, soft-spoken, humble, unassuming, but behind that calm personality was an unbreakable will. In the 1970s, climbing was still considered a man's world. Women were often discouraged, underestimated, or completely excluded from major expeditions. People believed they weren't strong enough, not tough enough, not meant for mountains like Everest. Junko heard all of that, and she refused to accept it. So instead of waiting for permission, she created her own path. She founded the Ladies Climbing Club of Japan with one simple but powerful motto: let's go on an overseas expedition by ourselves. It wasn't just a club, it was a statement. But the journey wasn't easy. Sponsors were hard to find, funding was limited. Some people openly mocked the idea. Others told them they should stay home, raise families, and forget about climbing. Junko didn't argue. She didn't try to prove them wrong with words. She chose to prove them wrong with action. Her goal was clear: Everest. After years of training, planning, and persistence, her team finally got their chance. In the spring of 1975, they arrived at the base of the world's highest mountain, standing at the edge of something no woman had ever achieved before. Everything was going according to plan until Everest reminded them who was in control. Just days into the expedition, disaster struck. An avalanche roared down the mountain without warning. In seconds, their camp was destroyed. Tents collapsed, snow buried everything. Junko was trapped beneath the snow. For several terrifying minutes, she couldn't move, couldn't breathe, couldn't even see. It was silent, heavy, suffocating. Her teammates rushed desperately, digging through the snow with bare hands and whatever they could find. They didn't know if she was alive. Finally, they found her. She was pulled out, barely conscious, injured, weak, shaken. For most people, that would have been the end, a clear sign to go back. But Junko Tabei wasn't most people. After days of recovery, pain, and exhaustion, she made a decision that would define her legacy forever. She would continue the climb. Step by step, slowly, painfully, she moved higher. Every step felt heavier than the last. Every breath was thinner. Her body was still recovering, but the mountain didn't care. Cold winds cut through her. Ice shifted beneath her feet. Fatigue tried to pull her down, but she kept going. Not fast, not perfectly, but relentlessly. And then, after days of struggle against one of the harshest environments on Earth, on May 16, 1975, Junko Tabei reached the summit of Mount Everest, the first woman in history to stand at the top of the world. No shortcuts, no special treatment, no excuses, just determination. Her achievement wasn't just personal, it changed mountaineering forever. It broke barriers, it challenged beliefs. It proved that the limits people talk about often don't really exist. Because Everest doesn't care about gender. It doesn't care about expectations. It only cares how far you're willing to go. But what makes her story even more powerful is what she did after that historic moment. Junko didn't stop. She continued climbing mountains around the world, peak after peak, challenge after challenge. Eventually, she became the first woman to complete the 7 summits, climbing the highest mountain on every continent. Even later in life, even when facing health problems, she kept climbing. Not for fame, not for records, but for something deeper, for passion, for purpose, for proving to herself and to the world that no dream is too big. On Everest, many people chase records. Junko Tabei chased something greater: respect, equality, and the belief that courage has nothing to do with who you are, only with how far you're willing to go.